I need you to join me in founding a new country of airports, especially if you're a young lineman who wants to fly and participate in the world. Probably the best people are the linemen who aspire to be pilots. But overall, you want to join me to have a good life and really use best practices. Best practices. Systems of governance as best practices. Best practices is the word, the phrase, the words to get in your mind, because once you start concentrating on the best practices, you can find them and employ them for the systems that are more important sometimes than the tools. Like, for instance, safety first becomes a system. You don't put things in the wrong place where you know people are going to fall over them. You don't ignore the need for handrails. In airport design even, you don't have blind walls where people can hide explosive packages. That was one of the problems in one of the Moscow explosions. Environment, well, it exists and it's dangerous. The world is dangerous as it is. Then you can find safer places. You know, when they picked a place for a castle, it was on the hill, but then they had to have a system for water. Best practices. How do you keep the water coming? Keep it clean when you're on the high ground. Pumps were invented for that kind of thing. Systems, tools, best practices. Now, the reason that an airport nation needs to be invented, founded, created, is that an airport can be put anywhere. And that's a big advantage. The sea as an ocean. You know, airports hadn't even been around all that long. But that's my goal. I thought about it. How could I prevent apocalyptic riot, is which I call it now, but when I was a young man, 12, 13, looking at the newspaper, seeing Barry Goldwater on the front page, it was, it had to do with how to prevent the atomic bomb war. And I thought about it. I wanted to fly, but I didn't get out to the airport till I was like 28, which is a late time to start flying. You need to start when you're about 13 is the best. The tension between bad habits and flying exists pretty strongly. You have to learn to control whatever vices you may have and learn how to live like a captain, become a captain. Free aircraft flight training has never really caught on, has it? But for Transcendia, that's going to be part of the flight school. All schools for Transcendia are to be known as flight schools, whether you're learning how to fly or not, because flying is fast and complex as sailing was. Captains set priorities to make sure the sinking of the ship doesn't occur. Trade keeps them ships in good condition. There was a difference between the slow tramp steamer and all like that, and faster ships that could outrun the submarines. Nearly 7,000 ships sunk by the German U-boats in World War I. That'll show you the vulnerability of the wrong ship. So that's what I'm up to, and that's what I need you to join. And the plan was to make movies that made money and then use that money to lease airports and airport offices. Now that I made the passports, which you can buy on Amazon, send to me, and after you fill out the application, and I'll vet you, then you become a Transcendian. I get money from the passports. You get a useful document, and that's part of the story. Go from there. I have to write down things to make it go. It's a manifesto on the passport, by the way. It's on Amazon. I'm Russell Scott Day, the Transcendian, and that's what you want to get, is a Transcendian passport. I wrote other entertaining books. But the plan was to make movies, and I need movie makers to do that. The pilots, rich pilots, wanted to stay near their knitting. It wouldn't have anything to do with it, so I was in the wrong place. That part of the plan didn't work out ever. Or some of the people that it was going to work with died, unfortunately. Thanks.